Hello, my name's Hemingway Jones, and I make videos about fountain pens for curious people. Welcome. Today, I'd like to talk to you about the Conway Stewart Winston fountain pen. Now, where does this pen fit in the pantheon of pens? Is it a luxury pen fit to compete with Montblanc and Visconti? Let's find out. I would like to mention that Conway Stewart sent me this pen to review it. There were no editorial constraints or influences, and it's going right back after I'm done with it. Let's get into the review. I think there are times when we all want to reward ourselves with a little bit of luxury. Now, Conway Stewart represents a particular type of luxury where you're able to customize whatever you want in your pen, because each of these is made by hand at the time of ordering it and according to what you want. That's the name British bespoke pens. Bespoke means that you can specify filling mechanism, nib type, and other things. Now, the barrel and the material is standard, and in fact this pen is numbered. They're only making 210 of these pens, and this one is number 70. So for me, I really enjoy the fact that I can choose these things and that it will be made for me and it'll show up within a few weeks in a beautiful, dazzling condition. So that's the process, but what are the results? What kind of pen are we dealing with here? Now, first off, it is a strikingly beautiful pen. From a design point of view, it's a bit more sleek than the Churchill Honey Noire pen that I reviewed a few months back, and it is much heavier. This pen has a brass inner liner, which makes it feel quite substantial. If you equate putting money out to weight, it definitely feels luxurious. It's a heavy pen. It's about 54 grams. Personally, it's a bit too heavy for my preference. I see this pen very much as a desk pen. It's an impressive, beautiful pen that I might put out on display, on a pen holder, on my desk at work, and when I need to sign some documents, I would reach for it and be able to sign flamboyantly. I would enjoy it for that. It's not a pen that I look at as something I'd want to carry around with me on a weekend and maybe do long journaling sessions. So one of the distinctive features of this pen is that it has a captive converter filling mechanism. And it's really quite exquisite how it's hidden away. Reminds me of vintage pens like a Parker Duofold where you would unscrew the back and there'd be a button fill there. This similarly, you unscrew the back and it reveals a lovely twist knob that is buttery smooth and easy to use. Now, a few words on a captive converter system for filling. In my opinion, they're a bit of the worst of both types, internal and converter. So it's very much like a converter is sort of trapped in there. And sometimes converters do fail on you. So it would require a service if that should ever happen. Now you can weigh whether or not that would ever happen. Some of us have had converters for 20 plus years in our pens, but still, it's something to think about. Usually you choose a converter so that you can just pop it out and pop another converter in if there's ever an issue. So keep that in mind. Usually with an internal fill system like a piston fill, you get this really huge or pretty large ink capacity. This pen is not as large because it's using that internal converter. Now, fortunately, if you don't like that kind of mechanism, you can get this in a cartridge converter configuration. You just have to request that. It also makes the pen a bit lighter if you opt for that version. So even though I see it as a drawback, there is another option. It's a bespoke pen after all, so I don't think it's worthy of getting hung up over. It's really what you prefer. And despite the drawbacks, to be honest, if I were keeping this pen or choosing one for myself, I would probably choose the captive converter system because I would like the elegance, twisting the knob and getting a really nice fill. So the pen is very beautiful. It has 9-carat trim in the gold. It has lovely hallmarks that go around the gold band right by the grip. The overall design of the pen is very classic. It goes back to pens of the 1920s. It's somewhat simple but very streamlined, very comfortable in your hand, and just lovely resin with a lot of depth and with a bit of pearloid in there that reflects the light perfectly and is quite dazzling under different lighting situations. It's certainly a pen that delights the eye. It's like having a vacation in your hand, like a sunset. It's absolutely gorgeous and almost distracting when you're writing with it, especially in daylight. It's a pen that makes an impression. It doesn't look like any other pen. It has design cues that harken back to these classic pens from the 1920s, yet it is incredibly reliable and very robust. So let's talk about the nib on this pen. That is one of the most important aspects of any pen. So it writes amazingly. It puts down a very wet line of ink. I have had no skips, no false starts, and it's been an absolute joy to write with. It's very quick and slick and beautiful as you steer it. It has a very nice smooth feel to it. It is a very enjoyable writing experience. This nib was made by Yovo for Conway Stewart. It has their lovely logo on there and the 18-karat gold designation. Each of these nibs is inspected and tuned by John Soroka in the UK, and personally I love that a nib specialist has already checked this pen and made sure that the nib is perfect and writing amazingly before it has reached my door. That's just peace of mind and a further excellent bit of service from Conway Stewart. So you can choose extra fine, fine, medium, or broad nibs, and there are some custom options available as well. This pen can also be engraved, which is a nice touch because this is one of those pens that makes a fantastic gift for someone. Let's speak a little bit about the value proposition with a pen like this and where it fits in with some other pens you may know. The Montblanc 146 is similar in price. That has an internal piston, it has a nib that's made in-house, and it's a very light pen. So compared to this, from a purely objective writing experience, they're very similar. I prefer the Montblanc 146 for being lighter, and I like the classic design. This pen is a bit heavy for me, but it is a fantastic writing pen, and if you forget the fact that the nib isn't made in-house, it's an extraordinary nib. But still, from a value proposition there, I'd say it would lean more towards the Montblanc. Similarly, for about $100 more, you could get the Visconti Homo Sapiens Bronze Age. That has a very unique power fill system, the hook-safe lock, their in-house nib, all very different, that incredible igneous rock resin from Mount Etna in Sicily. So you're getting quite a bit more features that are very unique for $100 more. So I still think this pen is fairly priced. It makes a fantastic gift. It is gorgeous. It is fun to write with. So let's do some quick pros and cons so you can make a decision for yourself. On the pro side, it is an absolutely gorgeous pen that would make an excellent gift to any fountain pen enthusiast. It has beautiful gold trim and a fantastically smooth and beautiful gold nib. I love that it's bespoke and you can choose certain elements of how you want the fill system, how you want the nib. That's very nice too. The service from the folks at Conway Stewart is absolutely excellent. They're very nice to work with and they're very open with their communication. That's nice as well. And it has a warranty, which is also very important. Another pro is that this pen is made in England. It's lovely to have something that is historically based in Britain, still made in Britain, and is produced to such a high and beautiful quality. And now for the cons. The nib is not made in-house. $628 or so at the time of filming is probably a bit hefty for this pen with a Yovo gold nib. I would prefer if it were down more around $500, but what can you do? That's the price for entry. Another con for this pen is the captive converter fill mechanism. I wish they just went all the way with the piston fill. That would have been nice, but at least they do give you the option to opt out and have a regular cartridge converter system. I think another con for me is its weight. It's quite a heavy pen. Lately, I have been enjoying lighter pens. So for me, thinking of journaling with this for an extended period of time, it's not as much fun as a much lighter pen from someone like Montblanc. So the Conway Stewart Winston Cherry Fountain Pen is an absolute gorgeous fountain pen that has been a joy to write with. I've definitely enjoyed using this pen. It is a little heavy, but still it makes a fantastic addition to anyone's fountain pen collection. And sometimes you just want a fantastic experience to get whatever nib you want, to not have to wait months and months, and just enjoy a luxurious, fantastic customer service experience from one of the finest providers of bespoke pens anywhere. So it is a fantastic pen. So, what do you think of the Conway Stewart Cherry Fountain Pen? Is it one you'd like to add to your collection? Is it in there already? Let me know in the comments. Also, thank you for watching this video, and if you haven't subscribed, consider doing so. I'd love to have you here along for this journey with us. Also, membership is available. I'd love to have you as a member. There's so much fun going on behind the scenes, so consider being a member. I release new videos every week, and I have a live show each Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So I promise we will see each other again very soon, further up the road. So take care.